Now I'll just fuck off for an unspecified amount of time again, until I find the next weird thing to obsess over and make a video about. How long ago was it? Oh shit. Hey again. So 2 videos ago I talked about someone who you wouldn't really expect to be a weeb, but turned out to be anyway. And also left you all with this conclusion. And if a group like the Taliban had a weeb in a leadership position, think of the possibilities of other groups like it having them as well. Let that sink in. So I have done some more research and gathered a few more people on the same topic of weeaboos in wacky positions. But before we get into this shit, I'd just like to say that some, if not all of these, are in some way politically charged. But I'm way too lazy to have political opinions, and my only core beliefs is that I want to be able to jack off to cartoons in peace. Which is why I also won't talk about these people or situations in a political manner. Anyways, let's begin with the first guy on our list. This guy. Now you might be wondering why I've chosen to show a Steam page of some random weeb Dota fan. I mean, sure, he has a lot of items and games. Wait a minute, that's more than a lot. Holy shit, how rich is this guy? Okay. So what you're looking at is the Steam profile of Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia. Because, I mean, what the fuck else should you do with your free time if you're literally thousands of times wealthier than Elon Musk? Other than watch anime and play video games. Sadly, a lot of his stats are private now, so we don't have access to his inventory or list of games. But we at least have his artwork tab, which has a lot dedicated to someone named Yuki, and how much time he has wasted on Dota 2, which is A. 10,000 plus hours, B. 5,000 plus hours, C. 20,000 plus hours, or D. 30,000 plus hours. And the right answer is 30,843.3 hours as of writing. Yeah. Which also explains why he's one of the largest sponsors of some of the biggest Dota events. As well as basically the only reason why the Dota 2 anime even happened. Finally, I can say I made a Dota 2 anime. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. Made? You sponsor it? Yeah, we cover most of the production costs. It's made by Netflix in collaboration with Valve. We own a large percentage of Netflix. Apart from that, I have also found some Twitter users who've taken some screenshots of his profile back in 2019, when his profile was more public. One of them states, he owns Nekopara, Neptunia, Honeypop, Sakura, Higurashi, If My Heart Had Wings, and Anime Girl Mahjong Games, as well as a lot of screenshots of a Q&A section which was public back then, where he writes in a very kawaii manner. Do you stream on Twitch? That's a nice idea. I would love to do that. However, there's no need for me to stream, because we already own billions worth of shares in Twitch's parent company, Amazon. But who knows? I might stream for fun someday. Do you go to the international, majors, events, etc.? Yes, I go to some of them. I actually got invited by the government of China to go to the International 2019 with friends, less than 333. Who are those 2 guys in the Russia, less than 3 Instagram video you posted above? Those are my lovely brother Mohammed, high-fiving President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, less than 3. We're very good friends with Russia, and I love Russia so much. I invited you to play with me, but you didn't accept my invite. Thank you very much for inviting me. I accept invites most of the time, unless I am in a game, busy, or not available. Sometimes you have to wait a few minutes when you invite me in order for me to go from my current room to the room where I play. The palace where I live is massive and it takes minutes, it could take more than 30 minutes even, to go from one room to another. I would really appreciate it if you give me a heads up before you invite me. So continuing on the topic of weebs in weird places, we have one of the most closed up countries on the planet, North Korea. As you should already know, very few North Koreans have internet connections or are even capable of getting on the World Wide Web, which in turn results in the small amount of footage of day-to-day activities which escape out of North Korea. But there are a few which escape, like this one from this guy called Yaka Parker with a pretty big YouTube channel, who recorded himself visiting a computer shop in North Korea to get his computer fixed. A pretty mundane activity on the surface, but as a lot of people have already pointed out, there is something strange in this video. Namely, his desktop background is of an anime girl. And if we zoom in even more, we can see a, to me, very familiar icon. The circle clicking game from hell, Osu, which is known both for its ADHD riddled player base with better hand-eye coordination than fighter pilots. Holy fuck, dude! And for being the reason why artists can't find a drawing tablet in their local store. Now you might be asking yourself, why is there a guy who's into anime and plays Osu just chilling in North Korea and vlogging it? And there's a good reason, explained by this guy. The other guy who's also into Osu and anime and is also chilling in North Korea, though sadly not vlogging it. Anyways, here's the post. I had an Indonesian friend I knew back in 2015, who was a few years older than me, and he actually introduced Osu to me. He also went to the same foreigner school I went to when I was in Pyongyang, but his flag is American because of the IP address his Wi-Fi used at the time. My internet used the North Korean IP address, hence the fact I held a North Korean flag when I created my account. Getting off track, but Jaka, the person who created the video, is a close family friend of my Indonesian friend, and I would assume he had to get his laptop fixed. So Jaka took it to a local computer shop. His GoPro recorded a faint Osu logo in the laptop, and boom, that's the full story. In addition to that, there was also a Steam forum post I read recently about the one North Korean Steam account online. That could have either been my brother or myself, as he was an avid Steam gamer back in the day. Still is today. And I only had 1 to 2 games on that Steam that could barely run on my little HP laptop. If you're interested in more stuff related to Osu North Korean players, I've linked some couple more posts in the description. The last person on our list is this guy, who I'm just gonna play as a PowerPoint presentation in the background while I speak. This nice man's name is Janus Korvin Mikke, and without getting too political, is pretty irrelevant, and from what I understand tries very hard to do PR stunts where he does a lot of retarded shit in order to stay relevant. Now, this guy is pretty far out on the right side of the people who don't go outside scale, and needed to find a way to connect with as many young right-wingers as possible. Luckily for him, there was an anime convention with K-On! Fans close by. So now we have these images to forever savor. And that is the end of this video. Initially, I wanted to include one more story, namely the story of the anime shop in Donetsk, Ukraine, and what happened to it. Now, you can either see this as positive or negative, but there was way more to that story than I initially thought. So I'm in my little Chinese sweatshop chewing away at a typewriter from the 1800s to get that to you as soon as possible. And I had to throw away like half the script already because I found a new source while Google translating some obscure Russian Reddit clone. Yeah, this is going to take some time. But I'll see you in about like 2 weeks or something. Surely it will be done by then. Anyways, bye bye.